presentation as if we had not been here for 20 minutes talking.
Okay.
Just a moment.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
It caught me saying we were here for 20 minutes. No problem. Hello, YouTube. Hello, everyone. Welcome to one more Clube Parceiro de Conversação Zoom live meeting. Today we're few people here, but that's not a problem. We will have a good time. Our special guest today is Teacher Ed. Introduce yourself, Teacher Ed.
Hi, everyone. How you doing? So my name is not Eddie, it's Edgar, but everyone calls me Eddie. And I've been teaching English since 2011. And
Teacher Ed. Sorry.
okay, no problem.
Go on.
And my journey was a crazy one because I started as a business. I started in the business area, but since 2003, I speak English. Yeah, I've been speaking English since 2003 or 2004, something like this. And then on 2010, 11, precisely 2012, I changed it to the English, the speaking English area, and here I am in love with this.
Very
That's
nice to have you here. Thank you for
Thanks.
accepting the invitation.
I appreciate it.
Well, we also have Ruben here, mi amor. Hello, welcome.
Hello to our live meeting. As you remember, I'm Ruben from podcast Everything You Are Using in the podcast with teacher Jolie Araujo that you can find in her channel and follow her at her Instagram as teacher Jolie Araujo, and there you will find more information about podcasts and etc. Hello from me and have a nice chat time.
Nice, thank you. Thank you, Ruben, for reminding me. Guys, you don't miss to follow the channel. We are going to come back with the podcast, everything you're interested in. So if you want to leave any suggestions for topics, send me a message, leave a comment here, and we'll read everything and take your suggestion into consideration, okay? Well, Teacher Ed, we have a topic to talk about today. I will share my screen here and show everybody the material Teacher Ed and I created. So here is the cover. Teacher Ed is on Instagram as @edlesson. Follow him.
There is a @lesson. Don't forget the dot.
Really? There is a dot here?
There is a dot? Yeah, there is a dot. No. @ed dot.
Oh, here.
Yeah, that's it.
@ed.lesson. That's the reason why I never found you.
Lessons and lessons in plural. That's how you know. That's why you cannot find me.
That's why I never find you, because I'm searching for Ed lesson the way I wrote here. Come on.
That's not.
Sometimes I'll be looking down here. It's not that I'm not paying attention to you guys. It's just because I'm following the streaming here on YouTube. So if there is someone there commenting, participating, I can read the comments and interact with them as well.
Okay.
Well, okay. So let's start with, we already know. What is psychology? Ruben, I'll let you start because I want you. Then Teacher Ed can talk and leave his opinion.
Thank you very much for the first word. I appreciate it. So, what is psychology? Psychology, in my point of view, and generally, I think it's the part of our soul. It's the expression, the feelings, the thinking of every person, of every character. It's everything about a person. So, and it's very, so that means it's very important, the psychology. That's the meaning about the psychology.
Yeah, I think so. I have to say that I don't know much about the topic, formal information about it. I know some things that I have read around. I know some things that you learn through life, but formal knowledge about psychology, I don't have. So this meeting, aside being an opportunity for us to be practicing English, is also an opportunity for us to learn a little bit more about this topic. So Teacher Ed, what is psychology?
So psychology is the science that study the mind and behavior, you know, and it's multi, it's a multidiscipline, like you have a lot of areas you can have psychology. Um, so psychology talks a little bit about how your brain works, how your mind works, how to become better, how to fix yourself, if I can say it this way. How can we change ourselves? That's the word. Change ourselves to be a better version, to have a better version, and to see the words, the word as a place that we can learn every time. So I do analysis with a psychoanalyst, and I've started doing therapy because there is a difference, but it's for the next question. I started doing therapies in 2008, I believe, 2007, 2008, and it was really funny because there is a sentence that all psychologists said: everybody needs a therapy, and that's really true. Even when you don't think, oh no, I'm really okay with this, and then you see yourself like talking about things with the person, with the professional that you never thought about. You have never thought about, and there you are working on things about your mind, about your childhood.
When it comes to psychiatry and psychoanalysis, there is a lot of prejudice, right? People are predetermined to judge and not want to do this. But I have heard really nice things about this. Well, but I have a question. The neuroscience is a field inside the psychology studies, or is it out of it, or is psychology inside
can be
neuroscience?
a wing arm, can be a right wing, as they say, a right wing. Like, it's not, as I know, because I want to let it clear, I'm not a psychologist, I'm a teacher, so I just read a lot about it, but I don't believe it is a part of psychologists. It's a help if you have some issues or some things to solve or some physical. It can explain a lot of things, but I don't believe that psychology, you have psychoanalysis, psychiatry, but I believe that this neuro thing is from other area, not a psychology itself.
Interesting. I like neuroscience. I have read quite a bit. I will not say a lot because there are so much to read, but I read quite a bit about neuroscience because that's important for teaching, So I have been reading and learning. It's a very interesting area.
Yeah, that's it. They work together. Even they really work together when it comes to talk about children therapy. Even when it comes to, they really work together, like neuroscience and psychology. They really work together. Even for in this case, the main point of this work is for children, because it's the time when children are developing their mind, is the first contact with a lot of information. So the neuroscience and the neural area has a lot to work with psychology.
Nice. Ruben, do you have something else to add before we go to the next question?
I just want to say that it's very recently in Greece, government starting to pay psychologists to be in primary schools, and I think it's very important because recently in Greece and worldwide we have the first huge criminal ever. A mother killed 3 babies.
Goodness.
And
Oh,
that's why, and another things happen, and that's why they decided to have a psychologist in primary school. And I think it's very important in all the school, high school, primary school, and etc. And everybody have to go to a psychologist. That's very important.
Yeah. Yeah, we have this here in Brazil, don't we, Ed? It's
I'm not sure.
no, we do have. It's just I don't know if they are psychologists, but there is this specific kind
I
of
believe it's social assistant. I believe we have
also.
this,
We also have
but
social
I'm not sure
assistants,
about
but there
psychology.
is
Search on it.
I forgot the name. It's yeah, I will not remember now, but they are not psychologists. They are actually I don't know, don't remember the name even in Portuguese now. Those teachers who are in, when you send the child to coordenação, there is someone there who has this psychology from degree, but I don't know if it's a psychologist or if there is another. The name is other name. It's not psychologist, but there is something like this. If I remember later, I'll tell you. If I remember later, but I don't think so. But I can tell you the group. Are you searching?
In São Paulo, yes. In São Paulo, we have a self-esteem programs that offer virtual psychological care to the population in São Paulo. Okay, a self-esteem program is something like, okay.
Yeah, that's not what I mean, but I don't remember now what I mean. So maybe it's just here in Brazil that we have this. I don't know.
Yeah, I've read this right now. I've just read this, like you have something about psychology in Brazil.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly what it is. I'll later I can send to the group, Ruben. Just, something extra. Well, let's move then to the next question. What's the difference between psychology, psychoanalysis, and psychiatry? Woof. Ruben, do you know the difference?
Yeah, I know the difference because I have been visited a psychologist that was in the same time psychiatrist. So I know that like a teacher, you have a doctora, I think it's the name. The upper level of psychiatrist, psychology is psychiatrist, just another level of psychiatrist. I think it's more dedicated to to other things, to more critical cases about psychiatrists.
Mm,
That's different.
yeah, well, I know there is a difference, but I could not explain the difference, so I'll let Ed say it now. Go Ed. Ruben was right in the things he said, right?
Yes, that's true because
Yeah, no, I'm not doubting you. I'm just confirming.
yes,
Oh,
it's true.
okay, so let me explain what I know, okay? Basically, it's a very basic way. Psychology can offer, so they have a lot of ways to work with a person. The ways I know, it's about, for example, there is something called in Portuguese TTC, não, teoria cognitivo, teoria TCC, teoria cognitivo comportamental. I know this one. You have what is the other name? I forgot. Okay, I really forgot this name now. We have another one that at least one of my friends he already did. And basically, some people say, what is the difference between therapy and analysis? As the name says, therapy. When you do a therapy with a psychologist, or all these are kinds of therapies. But as the name says, it's therapeutic. It's something that will work on you for sure. You'll have its results, but it's to make you, as a psychology once said to me, it's to make you feel more comfortable with the things you are facing or you faced in the past. Uh, I believe, as I said, in my point of view, that the psychoanalysis or psychoanalyst or the analysis, as I call it's something a little bit deeper, because it's more for a conversation. The patient speaks more, and depending on the way they follow, the line they follow, they can listen more to you. And for example, Lacan is some it's um, there are some books of him that I read, and it's really funny how the line he follows. Like you have to catch some information that is being said, but the patient's not hearing it. So that's the point of psychoanalysis and psychiatry. Like it involves medicines, so basically involve medicines. Okay, so he can prescribe to you some medicines. He can prescribe to you, if it's needed, some exams for you to do. So he acts, and he's gonna make like all the other ones. He's gonna make some research, maybe call a person of your family, your mother, your father, to do an interview and to try to catch more information to give a diagnosis. So that's the basic. Different is the psychology, or it's something like there are a lot of therapies, but it's like more for therapy. The psychoanalysis, it's a really analysis that depends on the line they follow. You have these more deep things, because once I heard a psychoanalyst said to me, not everybody is ready to do analysis. And I thought, and yeah, I believe that you are ready to, you need to be ready to face your own problems and how you have to fix yourself, because all your problems are about yourself, not about the others. And it's like discover this during the psychoanalysis, something that sometimes I feel like, oh my God, it's too much for me, so I'm not gonna handle it. And that's why I think, it's my personal opinion, psychoanalysis goes deeper on you. Sometimes can make you feel angry. It's very funny because sometimes go out of my, I leave out my analysis. Okay, I'm okay. There are some days I feel horrible, and that's part of the job because working on yourself move what is, already settled. You have to move that, all that dust, all that things, and you feel like it's uncomfortable for you. You feel, sometimes you cry, sometimes you get nervous, sometimes you want to quit your analysis, but that is analysis, because when you, everything in your life that has passed is settled, and then the psychoanalysis and even the psychology goes there and move, and that's a wave of strange feelings you feel along the way, but it's life changes, life altering. It's really, really life changing. And the psychiatrist, what I said, he just he just, okay, it's a huge work. He works with your historic events to get your diagnosis. Basically, it's very basically explained this way. And he works with medicines exams too. He works more on the physical, That's the basic. I
Yeah,
hope
every
I make
process.
myself clear.
Yeah, no, I will ask you to be even clearer, but let me just make a comment here. um, this thing you said about moving
Hmm.
everything inside of you
Not
to help
everything,
you
some
heal,
things.
to help you heal. I think
Hmm.
that is the basis of the process, isn't it? Because it's, as you said, it's all there, settled. Then you need to move it, to let go what doesn't need to be there anymore, to relook at the things you may think you have forgotten, but you haven't, because it's still um, holding you back or
Hmm.
disturbing your life in any way, right? That's interesting. And I think this beginning is as difficult as all beginnings are, right? Like, I mean, beginnings that are beginnings of process who are life changing, because if it's a beginning of whatever thing, it doesn't make any
Yeah.
difference. But if it's something that is gonna change your life, that is hard. That is hard for you to go through this process. It is hard for you to learn a language because you have to rethink a lot of things. It's hard for you to start, for example, um, healthy life, right? Because again, you're there, you have your way of living, you have your lifestyle, then you have to shake it out and move everything and re-significate.
Yeah, gave a significance.
Yes, resignificate things. So that is it. But before we move to the next question, let me just ask you a few words, okay?
Hmm.
I understood what you said, Ruben. I understood what you said, Ed, but few words for people watching, because lots of them, they don't understand English quite well. And when,
Okay.
so simple words, few words, just to differentiate them. There is a fourth thing here, which is the psychotherapy, or psychotherapy is within one of those?
Is, I believe it's within therapy, because there are a lot of types of therapies, even because it's a general name. For example, I believe now, I believe I remember Gestaltica is it's like one kind of therapy. As I told, like TCC is one kind of therapy because they have a line to follow. They have different lines in psychology, psychoanalysis. So you have, for example, psychoanalysis. Maybe you can follow Lacan. Maybe you can follow another line of study, like study line. So therapy is the general name, but you have different ones.
Yeah, so you have psychotherapy, and then as sub areas, you have, for example, psychoanalysis and psychiatry.
No, there are
as sub areas.
psychoanalysis. So the psychoanalysis and the psychology and the psychoanalysis, they're a little bit different. They are a little bit different. Okay, so if you go to a psychology, you probably have one kind of thing. It's there is, I don't know if there is a little bit pattern, but the two of them that I've been to, they they follow a pattern. Like you hear examples, you hear, it's a conversation really. When I went to the psychoanalysis, I felt that I speak more because I need to hear myself. That's the point. That's the difference. The psychoanalysis, you speak, and as until I know, the psychoanalyst, he will listen what you are speaking, but what you're not listening. For example, let's imagine a situation. I'm talking about getting married to a person. And then I'm saying, oh no, I hate this. I don't like this person to doing this. I don't like this person to do that. Because if this person marries with me, and she doesn't go, she cannot do this, she cannot do that. So what you are saying is, are you really want to get married with that person or not? You know, so I want married, I want married to her, but all the time I'm saying that I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, if she does this, if she did this and whatever, you know, like every time what I'm telling the truth, and the psychoanalyst will catch is, and then make small questions, at least my therapy is like this, my analysis like this, he's going to catch the key information and give back to me. It's funny, you know, because you said you want to marry, but every time if she does something, you will act like this. That's the question that makes you think, oh my God, you know, that is the process of psychoanalysis, at least with me. You know, like what I've seen is that they listen to you, you speak a lot. Sometimes when you are some people can, some people cannot. They sometimes you can even talk about talk, and then you say, my God, now I got what it is. And then sometimes you can see these answer, but normally and almost 100%, the analyst will catch this missing part and will give. That's the difference between psychology and psychoanalysis. Psychology, it's a conversation, so you hear more things. Could be this, could be this, could be that, could be this thing, could be that. And the psychoanalysis, it's like, let me get this point that you're not following, that you're not getting well.
Understood. Was your experience similar, Ruben?
A little bit. For example, to for the audience not listening right now or later, what is psychology, psychoanalysis, and psychiatrist? If you love telenovelas, you will be reminded with the telenovelas like María la del Barrio and Rosalinda. So the the psychology is the start of the problem. The psychoanalysis is the what's the problem, and the psychiatrist is the when the psychoanalysis solves some issues, very important issues, serious issues, then it's going to be in psychiatrist issues.
Very clear.
If I do you remember, Shirley, that Talia and Rosalinda married a man, and later her mom does not want her, and he was trying to finish her, and then Rosalinda was going crazy. That's the psychiatrist thing. I think that's a good example. And another little bit of example for me is that I went to psychology because when I was young, I couldn't find friends. So another family member who was having panic attacks, so went to psychiatrist. That's the difference.
Yeah,
That's my
Mhm.
nice.
That's it.
Yeah, well, moving then to the next question. Can psychology be applied to other fields than the medical field or mental health?
Yes. Yes.
Ruben, what do you think?
I'm trying to understand the question. Can psychology be applied to other fields than the medical fields of mental health? I think it's kind of a hard question for me, and I would like to not answer yet, but either you first.
Go then, Ed. Ed already said yes, right?
Mhm.
But tell us more.
Yeah, you can have, for example, you can be applying many fields, like organizations, like jobs, like in children, as we have talked, we've talked like children's therapy, um, like in marketing, like marketing psychologists, they okay, they give hands to each other, they shake hands. Um, the children, the psychological area, or area as a teachers, we use a lot of psychology with our students, as you said earlier. It's really the neuroscience, so everything is connected to this area. So we use psychology in a lot of even in our personal area, like in our personal lives, we use psychology, like children with I have a friend. Oh my god, my, my where is it's okay, no problem. I have a friend. Her focus is to the psychology to older people, to elder. So psychology, you can be applied in really really different areas.
Yes. We are going to talk about some of these areas in a bit. And given all the things we were commenting here, how important is that for people to be aware of psychology and all that it brings? I think there is no other answer than extremely important, right?
Yeah, like how important is that for people to be aware of? It's because you can be summarizing, because I speak too much. Summarizing is because you can be better. You can solve childhood problems. You can solve childhood issues. You can be a better person. Maybe you're facing some trouble that psychology or psychoanalysis or psychiatry can help you, and can help you to live a better life, to live a better, so to have a better social life. That's the main point for me.
Yeah, I think better life in a whole, because
Mhm.
when you're well with yourself, you can deal well, you can deal better with other people, with family, in your job, everything you want to do, you'll do better. And you also can have better opportunities. For example, we didn't put here to the material, but we were commenting, Ed and I, about how to apply psychology to, for example, a job interview. So if you have this knowledge, you'll know better how to behave, how to read the other person who you are talking to. You'll be more aware about your, I don't know, physical signs, and all of that is a set of things that when you put them together, it's gonna make the whole difference, right?
That's it.
Yeah, well, here we have a little text. We're not gonna read it now, but this material is going to be available on Hotmart for the ones who buy the access. And yeah, on Hotmart. I will not put it to the group just because they didn't come to this meeting. Well, then we have here psychology in children's education. We were talking about applying psychology to other fields. And then the question here is, how does psychology affects or benefits children's education? Ruben, do you have an opinion about that or not yet?
Yes, I absolutely. As I said before, in Greece, that's very important. We had the first huge criminal case ever. We had a mother who killed 3 children. So, and the psychology started to be in primary schools. When a good psychology with good ways, with a good psychologist can prevent a child to start doing bad things or happen bad things. For example, can stop a child can say that there was a man who was trying to give her a candy, and then the psychology can call the police. That's very important to have a psychiatrist in children's school or areas. Generally, it's very important psychology mm, about children's education.
Yeah, it can change everything, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Preventing, for example, children to become those adults, right, who are going to kill their children, who are going to not adults and even teenagers, because some of those attacks in schools, they were done by teenagers, not exactly adults. There was some with adults involved, but most of them teenagers, right? Well, Ed, you can talk now.
Yeah, I don't have much things to talk about it, but I believe that talking about children's education or involving psychology, because I always like to think that the brain of a child it's like a new computer, so it starts to record things, and like maybe of course is not only for this, but basically, like psychology will help, as Ruben said, to rearrange, if we can say it this way, to rearrange the children's, the child's opinion or the child's view to something, and psychology can have a view of the problem that we teachers maybe we cannot see, the parents or the school. So I believe that this is really important because, as you said, Susie, psychology can help children not become those adults. That's for me is the basic. Like to try to give a better view of the world, a better understanding of the world, and a better how to see how the children can understand things working, and that's I believe that psychology works in children's education.
Yeah, I think we can also relate to this the role of the psychologist at school, They're there for that, to
Mhm.
pay attention to children, psychological behavior, how they're dealing with school life and whatever they have to deal with. And that's why they're going to be more attentive. Because if you think teachers, sometimes they see things, they perceive things, but that's not their role. If they do that, awesome. But they are worried about other things. Same with parents, of course. Parents should be paying attention to their children and taking care of everything, but we have million things to do, million things to worry about, and sometimes we simply don't see.
Yeah,
And and the psychologist at school, he or she will be there with that purpose only.
yeah, yeah. And sometimes have to see that you have to pay attention because it's not only you can see, we as a teacher, we can see, but sometimes you cannot even speak because the
Yeah.
parents that doesn't have the idea. Sometimes the parent doesn't want to accept.
Oh,
As you
yeah.
said in the beginning, that there is a lot of prejudice. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of prejudice, a
Yeah.
huge prejudice. So sometimes it's very good, but sometimes
Yeah,
we
no,
are
but I
on
mean
the.
the parent, sorry to interrupt, the parent and
Okay.
the teacher, when they see those needs in the child, we can take them to a psychologist, right? Take them. And then it's not our role, of course, we don't know those things. We don't know how to deal with psychiatric issues, as
Mhm.
Ruben said, but we can lead them to a psychiatrist. And but most time we don't see. And or because we don't know, or because I'm thinking about parents, for example. um Nowadays people are more aware
Mhm.
about this psychology things, but in the past the older parents, they are not. They think everything you can solve with, I don't know, uma surra. You beat your child and they will learn. Some old parents think like this.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like,
Mm,
I grow up with I can say about me, like I grew up with my mom. The best education is like when you don't do what is the correct. I want to give you some education, like,
beating
and
you.
beating, that's as usual. But that's one thing that's really funny. Some 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 people, some of my friends, they are really angry. They had, okay, but they were not had, they were really angry with the parents, and because of this, like the way they were. And I said, but they give their best, like you don't have to complain. Your father and your mother gave their best. So as you are giving your best, and it's not the best of the world, but you have to do to understand this, have to be aware of this. Like, your parents give you what was the best at the moment. So today is a different day. Live it, look into it. So
Yeah,
live your
and
life, look into it.
yeah, and psychology at school could, embrace all of these and change everything.
That's
It would
it.
took a while, but we have to start from somewhere, right?
From somewhere. That's it.
Ruben, do you have something else to add, or can we go to the next slide?
I just want to mention that psychologist in primary school is also very important because can advise a mother, a young mother, what is about being a mother, which is very important because many mothers in Brazil, in Greece, in Europe, in America grow up children without know what's the meaning of mother, how can act the best. And I think that's the best thing to mention in that time.
Well, let's move then to the next slide. And here we're mentioning psychology in marketing. Very interesting field. Very interesting field. I wish I had more time to study these and learn more about this, because it's really interesting, rich, life-changing. But let's go to the questions. First one, have you ever heard about the green market? Have you ever heard about the green market, Ruben?
No.
Yes, well, I had heard before, but I didn't know what it exactly was. Then Eddie explained a little bit to me, and I'll let you now, Ed, tell everyone what that is.
Yeah, basically green market in the past, okay, not in the past, until nowadays, is when making a reference to a company or companies that create advertising and develop an advertising products based on their environmental sustainability. So it's for example, if Nestlé, for example, Nestlé put their yogurts in the sustainable packages. So, and they do advertisements, they do ads with this. So they're doing green markets, and green marketing.
Coke, for example, Coke with the bring back the recyclable bottles. It's green marketing.
It's a kind of a green market, even because it's funny because
let's take it back.
It's funny because the product's not healthy, the product's not environmental.
It's not green at all.
It's not green at all. But for example, the government in Rio decided to banish the sippy cups, okay, os copos com canudinho, okay. So they banished.
The name in English is sipping.
Yes, I believe it's sippy. Okay. And no, sorry, is not sippy. Sippy cup. It's a common name. Straw. The straw. That's it. The straw. They vanished the straw from the restaurants and a lot of things, a lot of places. Then, so it is a kind of a, not marketing, but it's a green action, you can call it green action because it helps the environment, but you can complain about there are another utensils made from plastic and so on, but okay, but they vanish the not only the straw, the plastic, okay, the straw made with plastic. So that's a green action. You can have a lot of examples of green marketing.
The supermarket bags also, they banish it, right? Is that banished in Greece, Ruben? Because here in Brazil, it's not banished. It's not, nowadays, I think it's not prohibited. Some supermarkets still offer those plastic bags for you to bring your grocery home. And they just incentivize you to have your own bag. But for a while, I don't remember, like, how was it, 4 years ago, Ed? It was prohibited. The supermarkets could not offer you plastic bags to bring your grocery home.
In Rio, they offer, but you have to pay for it.
Yes, here we don't have some supermarkets. We have to pay. Some they simply don't offer. Some they give it free for you, for free. They give it for free. but all of them have those bags, those they call it green bags, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have those green bags for you. If you want to, you can buy, and then you put your things and bring it home without plastic bags. So do you have this policy in Greece, Ruben?
The policy in Greece about supermarket from 2019 is to pay the bag that you're going to buy, and that bag it's smelling a kind of plastic because, as you remember, and for those who have listening to the podcast, everything you're interested in, you will be learned that plastic can destroy it in many years. So, right now, the material that using in plastic bags, it's very sensitive to destroy it in 2 months, not many years. So that's good. And you have to buy a bag. Also, you can bring your own green bag that
Mm-hmm.
you have to buy
Yeah,
in the supermarket.
I think that is a good thing, even though most people, like not most people, a lot of people will still use the plastic bags. Having the option to have your green bag, I think it's good because some people will adaptate to the green bags, and then it is something, right? Better than nothing.
Yes.
Well, what about the negative marketing? Do you believe in negative marketing? I'll put it in brown. Negative marketing.
Mm. Ask me or Ruben?
Ruben, do you know what negative marketing is? Marketing is?
Not at all. I didn't know about green marketing, so I don't know about in general in marketing. So I would like to Ed or you to start.
Okay, Ed, go ahead.
Yeah, basically, okay, when you talk about negative marketing, can be calling the attention in a negative way. You know, it's the same like talk whatever you want, but talk about me. It's basically this, you know, and we know that some people they act like this. Okay, you can use fake news, you can use fake news about people, you can use about companies, you can talk bad about things. You know, I can, for example, I can create a company in the TikTok and then just talk bad things about companies, for
People.
example, or about people. So it's a negative way, or for example, that's the point. It's intention. You know, if I have, for example, to open a profile and to talk about things companies should change, give examples, that's okay. So you are doing a polite way. But when we're talking about doing the bad language, pointing, you know, just complaining, that's means calling the attention for the wrong thing and can be considered a negative marketing. Sometimes it's talking just bad things about companies or competitors. For example, if I want to, basic example, imagine I am teacher, Sueli is a teacher, and then I see her as my competitor. And then what I do, I go there and talk bad things about her and make up things about her, and you know, like it's all lies. So I create a very bad environment, a very bad relationship with her, but I'm calling attention, I'm calling the public eye. So that is negative marketing.
I think maybe Anita, she goes at least a little bit with this negative marketing thing,
She
because
moves
I don't
well.
think she does all that crappy thing she says. Like she's kissing everyone, she's having sex with everyone.
But,
I don't
uh,
think she. really acts like that in life. Because if you think she is a sexy, yeah, she's sexy, but I mean, she is a successful person, a businesswoman. She has made a lot of money. She is known all over the world. But what she says, she does with her personal life, and she curses a lot, and everything. I watched some of her interviews. Everything someone says to her, she answers with something related to sex. And I'm like, I don't believe she is exactly like this.
Yeah, maybe it's an image, I believe she's like crazy, like she speaks what she wants, and that's her that's her motto, like she wants to speak whatever she wants, and that's okay. Like uh, um, she just I believe she changed a little bit the image of a woman, like this slaved woman, something like this, like she put the woman as like a free woman, do whatever she can do. And but sometimes, of course, and she, of course, she walks in these fields of negative market, because but she knows how to change this to her, like you have to be aware of how to use the negative, because you have not you, but we all have kind of this negative in, like in these some comment in, we all have this. The negative makes part of life. That's part of life. But when we make only use of it, you make that relation or any relation poor. You make these things like only this. I'm gonna follow this profile just because he's complaining nonsenseless things, and no, that's not for me. But when you use a negativity as something smart, as a point to call attention, as a way to make people understand the bad things. For example, when you listen to a person give you a speech about how to become better, during this speech, you use negative comments to call your attention. That's a good point. Maybe that's a good thing how to call your attention. But when you just complain, point people, everyone is bad, and everyone, that's a negative only, and I believe that's not good.
Any comments, Ruben?
No, about it. No, but I didn't understand what. Who is that woman?
Don't you know Anita?
Not at all.
Really? Let me show you her. She's a Brazilian singer. She started singing funk, which is a Brazilian music style. Then she started singing in Spanish. She made some partnerships with Spanish people. Then she went to the United States, started recording in English, and now she's a worldwide phenomenon. I didn't know you didn't know about her. Actually, I posted one interview of hers on the group. Let me show you. You remind her. You remember her. And the thing is, she is a successful singer. She's very rich nowadays. Here. Do you remember her now?
Let me see. Did you send it to the Telegram?
No, it's I'm sharing the screen here. Maybe it's not appearing to you. I'll stop sharing and then share again. Anita. And how she looks nowadays is totally different from what she looked
like
when she was a funk singer here in Brazil.
No, I can't remember. I don't know her. It's because I don't watch TV. Watch
No,
MTV, I don't, no.
no. Yeah,
But I understand.
she is like you love or you hate. She's the kind of person you love or you either love or hate.
So that's it. And for example, an example of negative marketing is happening nowadays because a country musician uh, talked bad things about her, and she was just in silence. She didn't complain, and all her audience, and that's really funny because all the audience started showing bad things about this musician, this country musician, and there is they changed it to a government process to discover called CPI to change to discover the money that these musicians received, and if the values are okay, if all the accounts are okay. So like she changed it. So it was a negative marking to point it to her, and then her audience made things come out of nowhere, and now a lot of country musicians are suffering with this. So it's a kind of um, uh, 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 different, like he tried to pull the trigger against her, but then nothing happens. And
Which country musician you're talking about?
I believe you showed.
Zeneto?
Yes, Annette.
Oh.
He pointed to her telling something, and then people talked about him, and then people start talking about the money they received. Uh, they are high, they, they are very high prices. They receive a lot of money, and then it started an investigation, a federal investigation to to see how much they receive, if everything is okay about run it law, run it. So you know,
Hmm.
so a movement positive came from the negative. You know.
Yeah. I'm not following those news, but I heard about.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, commenting. I know that.
just because I really don't focus on this. Like
Yeah,
I'm preparing classes normally.
we have
I'm,
to know some of those things, right?
yeah.
Okay, moving into the last point, last field, we are relating to psychology in jobs and careers. I brought here different majors because this one is about sports and this one is about the other professions. And then question, how do you think psychology, how do you think psychology could help you succeed in a job interview or in your career? Ruben, did you have a job interview before you started your new job?
No,
No? Oh,
no, just the call that we are thinking about it. We are not negative, but we are positive, and then I got the practice job.
hmm.
Uh, yes, that's it.
I had 3 job interviews in life. None of them I was aware of psychology application to it. So I just went there and I was truthful. That was what I did. But I think, as I commented before, if you are aware of those things, right, on how to read other people, on how to act in order to transmit a specific image of yourself, that would be cool. What do you say, Ed?
Um, so basically, is psychology in work it starts in an interview, because normally you have a psychology looking at you, making tests of you. Some people say that those dynamics, they don't worth nothing. Not at all. Okay, like normally psychology is looking if you can interact with people, if you can dominate, if your strategy is good, if you can respond to attention, to tension. Okay, so normally the psychology, oh my God, the psychology is looking to these points, you know. And during your work, uh, if you have a psychological following, it's good because you can talk about people in your job. You can share your issues that you're facing. You can solve an issue with the person or even with your own tasks. So that's where, like, I'm kind of answering the two questions. Like, that's where psychology works, you know. In an interview, looking to the perfect candidate, and during your work, like with issues you have with your peers, at work with your colleagues, or with your own tasks.
Yeah, this last job I had that I'm leaving now, they offered the psychology service to be helping around. It was important, especially because this company offer a service that is very difficult to 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 offer. Yeah, for the workers there.
To deal with.
Psychologically, yes, speaking, it takes a lot of you. So you need the psychologist there to help you deal with the whole environment inside the company with other colleagues and with the coordination, but also with the clients, with people who call you and have to deal with really hard. I'm leaving. Thank God.
And that's where the psychology comes in, because as you said, you have to deal with people. That's why psychology is so important. We deal with people. So it's really funny, but when you have the knowledge of a psychology, and then a psychology explains you in your work how to deal with some client, if you have a development and training on how to deal with different kinds of people and situation, you become a much better employee, you know. So if you have this knowledge about how psychology is important in job and careers, you become not a better person, not a better work, but you know, you show more yourself. You show, right? Like for some people, you can be a show off, but that's not the meaning. So like people start looking at you like, oh my God, he knows how to speak. He knows how to talk to a student. He knows how to handle the situation. You know how to, for example, my analysis and all my years of therapy helped me to deal with some clients, not in the case of my students, but in other works I had, that they were totally impolite and with accuracy and patient, you know how to turn the situation. When I was a coordinator, deal with some angry students, for example, a long time ago, uh, I had I brought at the time to my therapist, and she helped me to solve in my career some points, and then I became like open-minded to these kinds of solve this problem. I called this problem to solve, and then it was life-changing for me. You know, like I I just I just see I could see how I could be a better worker, be a better person, and feel pleasure. That was the most important. You start feeling capable of doing that job you thought before you couldn't. That's for me the most important thing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And where I work, there are some clients that they are recurring clients. They call every day, lots of times a day, to say whatever things come to their minds. And then sometimes we get angry with them because the job itself is already very difficult. It's hard to deal with when you have to deal with people with real problems. And then there are those who are just messing around. And then sometimes we need to go to the psychologist and they talk to us. That's so interesting. They talk to us and you leave the meeting with them feeling renewed, like, okay, I can deal with this abençoado. I can deal with this people.
Blessed people.
Yes. That's very interesting. And I just wrote here on the comments the word psychopedagogue. And I didn't write psychopedagogue. I read psychopedagogue.
Yeah, I read and was like, what was that?
Psychopedagogue, which is the thing I was trying to remember before. We have here in Brasilia, in the schools, we have this professional, which is a psychopedagogue. Then I don't know exactly which is the order, but I think they graduate in pedagogy, then they postgraduate in psychology.
Or vice versa, they can do it.
Yeah. So they are psychopedagogue. And every school here, there are one of those.
Yeah, they are psychologists focused on education. Basically, like talking really, really basically, they are the psychologists focused on process of education, all the process. If you're afraid of speaking English, if you have some trauma, if whatever, they are focused on these things to develop.
That's it. That's what I was trying to remember. Well, oh my goodness, it's already 6:30. Ruben, do you want to go bed?
Very badly.
Yes, right. So let's just skip this behavioral personality test. I brought one here, but as I said, this material is going to be available. The link to the test is here, so you can take it yourself, and then I'll leave it to the group. And then if you want to share in the group, great. I'll love to know. Also, you guys watching on YouTube, I'll leave the link here on the caption. Yes. And then if you want to take the test, you go there, you take the test, and you leave here comments, so I will know your results. Okay. Well, that was it then. I want to thank you guys very much for being here, sharing knowledge, experience, also your personal experience. I like that. I like things that go personal. That's what I like. So thank you so much. Starting with Ruben, your final words.
I would like to say thank you very much, Ed, like the Angelica Vale song, let's say Eddie, Eddie. I don't know if you ever heard about it. So I want to thank you for your time, for your presentation, that you took time with teacher Swally, and especially thanks to teacher Swally. Everyone can participate in the group. Don't afraid to talk. Don't afraid to speak. Don't afraid nothing. You can really join and feel free for it. And that's the best way to learn English. And thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Ruben. Ruben always have the right words. First thing, it was the second thing, but I'll comment about that first because I want to comment about Ed later. So first thing about the group, guys, there is a great opportunity it's not just because it's mine, it's because that is something that works for your learning process. It does. I'm telling you from experience. I learned the Spanish from the moment I started practicing. I mean, I learned how to speak Spanish from the moment I started communicating English the way I could, Spanish, I mean, the way I could. I also had a block with English. I learned a lot of grammar in traditional courses. I knew a bunch of things about grammar, but I didn't know how to speak in English. I couldn't. From the moment I started practicing, using my English the way I could, I learned better. I'm still learning. I will be always learning because that's a long life process, right? That is a way of life. I think that's a lifestyle. I decided English will be part of my life. This decision is also important for you guys. So the group is an opportunity for you. This club is an opportunity for you. Don't miss it. And Ed, as Ruben said, thank you for your time. That is something so important to say, Ruben, because time is something precious. You cannot pay for. It's too precious. Yes, nowadays, I know I have a crazy busy life. I know you also have a busy life. So thank you for your time. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate. So it was a pleasure to be here to share knowledge, to share some opinions with you. And I made Ruben's words mine. So guys, your dreams to talk is talking, you know. I really talk something to my students, and it's for all people who study any language. Your dream is to talk, just talk. To achieve something, you have to work on it, and you have to see where or what you're doing, or where are the points you have to do more. Listen more. Speaking more. Read more. And so attack what you need. Okay, and thank you so much, Ruben. Thank you so much, really, for sharing this experience today with all of us.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Kisses. Thank you, YouTube. Again, all the comments you have, leave here and I will read everything. Bye for today.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye.